Chris Martin has become an internet star after copying the selfies that his 19-year-old daughter posts on Instagram.
It's exactly what the world needs right now.
We know that you are voted Hero of the Week in the UK.
This is my favorite dude right now.
Chris Burr Martin. Visionary. Genius. American patriot.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Burr Martin Podcast, episode 30. Woo! Oh. God. Am I bleeding?
That wasn't even a big woo.
Oh. We don't woo on the podcast. Nothing we do needs a woo. I can feel my brain rattling in there.
Oh, that's a good sign. It's still there.
For those people just listening, I've probably turned that down in post. You won't be driving. People will be driving off the roads after they hear that.
I'm available for rent for concerts.
Woohoo, girl. All right. So welcome to the podcast, and episode 30. We made it.
Yeah.
This is being... Okay. Now you're just ticking
You
me
didn't
off.
think you were going to get sarcasm, really?
Nah, you're just ticking me off.
All right.
All right. This is being video recorded for YouTube, so if you go to the show notes, you can watch the first half hour-ish recorded. Yeah, I never know where I'm going to break.
I don't know when you're going to break either.
It's going to be soon.
Just get a bag
Gonna be
packed
soon.
and under the bed and ready.
I have a go bag like NCIS guys. Remember the Office when they asked the temp, "You all set?" And he like lifts that bag up. This is it.
Ready to go.
Take this and I'm gone. I have nothing permanent here. Like the guy I work with, he's got nothing personal at his desk.
Oh.
We had a big like a hot dog feast, and so the girl from HR made this poster with a big hot dog, and so I cut the hot dog out, and it said hot dog on it, and I stuck it to his chair, and he's kept that.
Oh.
But that's it.
Progress.
I think that's as personal as he's going to get.
Okay.
And here I have like a little cardboard cutout of the M60, it's the M something, the Winnebago in stripes that came with the DVD that I wasted time folding. I have that up there. I've got like a little Captain America Watch Your Language poster. He has nothing.
Okay.
I have a personalized calendar.
That was fun. Come on.
Go ahead
That
and tell
was
the
fun.
people. Go ahead and tell the people how you screwed with my calendar. I wanted one thing for Christmas.
You wanted a simple calendar for Christmas, so...
Now, what kind?
Oh, one with, like, beachy type themes.
Like a tropical thing?
Tropical calendar.
Because I spend so much time, like, in a freezer or with cardboard boxes. I don't have a window, so I wanted, like, a nice tropical thing. My go-to place.
So we got him his tropical calendar and then printed off a bunch of pictures of his face. So he's photobombing every one of his calendars.
Because that's what I want to see every month is my own face. You know, I talk a good game about being narcissistic on here, but when it comes right down to it, gross. I don't want to see my own face. When I get ready for a shower, we have like a giant mirror in the bathroom. I don't look in the mirror when I'm getting ready for the shower. In fact, there's been times I close my eyes and take my clothes off before I get in the shower.
Okay.
You know you don't feel good about your body when the first article of clothing you put on is your shirt. That's when you know you're not happy with anything
from
going
the waist
on.
below in the mirror.
Everything else just comes to match as soon as you get that shirt back
Nice.
on. Yeah, they were talking the other day on the Never Not Funny podcast about swim shirts. Is that a thing? Swim shirts? And there's such thing as a swim shirt.
After 40.
Yeah. There's also a thing about chubby nerds wearing a shirt into a pool because they don't want everybody to see their giant man boobs.
Or the whiteness.
So,
Moobs.
Moobs?
Yeah. Proper term.
In fact, I noticed like that Battle of the Network Stars, there were a couple of guys who had swim shirts, like some of the older gentlemen.
Oh.
And they weren't really swim shirts because they were long sleeved. I don't know what kind of...
Actual swim shirts were like from the 40s and 50s.
but they were tighter and they were short-sleeved, and these were not.
Yeah.
So I need to find out where to get some. All right, I want to start out with some emails because I have an email that describes. Yeah, I think I've already titled this podcast. I'm not sure, but anyway, I got an email. First, I'll go with Sandy's from Sandpoint. Sandy at Sandpoint. She heard our podcast that we were live last time.
Cool.
We said, heard you were in my town last week. Sorry I missed you, but wanted to let you know that the woman who thought Sandy Hook was fake doesn't speak for all of us. Some of us here have common sense and don't shave our head. So,
Was that a wig she was wearing? I didn't realize.
thank you, Sandy from Sandpoint.
Nice.
Yeah, speaking of which, that Ape movie, that just... So we saw War of the Apes of the Planet.
War of the Planet. No, War for the Planet of the
War
Apes.
for the Planet
I
of the
think
Apes.
so.
War for the planet.
And then
The Woody Harrelson one.
yes, there was a point there where he was talking to Caesar, the other monkey, and he was saying how the disease has started to affect him, and they can't talk, and so the human him is afraid of being replaced.
Like the humans are devolving
Yeah.
as the apes were evolving. Yeah.
And it struck me, this is the skinhead case. Because when they were marching in Charlottesville, their big thing was, Jews will not replace us. They were screaming that, Jews will not replace
I
us.
actually thought they were going to be replaced.
I think they can be. Pretty much by a calculator or a thumbtack, but...
Or 20 years of evolved intelligence.
Right. But I'm thinking, some of them that the one that I work with, and the others that I had
really
seen...
hope they don't ever listen to your stuff.
He doesn't even own a television.
Oh, okay, that's
or
right. That's
nothing.
right. Okay.
Unless someone passes it along, hey, I think he's talking about you. Whatever, because he had his sock on some food that we could have taken today. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
I didn't need to hear that story twice.
So
The first time was enough.
gross sock. You don't put it over a community food. But so just take that as example. No internet access, no television, nothing to really show you the outside world, and so it's a fear of learning. Like you're fine where you are right now, and you don't want to learn anything else. And there's another guy who's, let's call him semi-racist. He's also said, "Hey, I'm at the cap. I want more money." And they're like, "Well, sure, you can do this job." And he's like, "Well, I don't want to learn anything about that job, but I want that."
You can't do that job, and
right.
you can't get that check.
Right. But he's upset that where he is, but he doesn't want to learn anymore.
He wants more, but he doesn't want to have to advance to get it.
Right. So I'm thinking, and Woody shaving his head also kind of gave me the idea. Maybe that's where they're at, is they're afraid of being replaced because they're happy where they're at, and they might have to progress to be more understanding and have social skills. They might have to change, and they don't want to change. So they're afraid of being replaced.
What does that have to do with Woody Harrelson shaving his head?
It's like a skinhead.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
Because there's skin when you shave your head.
Well, no, but I don't think skinheads were really a thing then.
And he had an elite. Well, there's the skinhead, and then there's like the weird Hitler haircut. That I'm wondering if you have to part it to the right. I don't know if that's a real thing or not.
I don't know. Maybe left is wrong. Maybe all lefties should be gotten rid of.
Look at this guy parting his hair on the left. What a libtard that guy is. Is that the word?
Oh my God, apparently.
Well, that's kind of what got me. Is he was like, he was shaving his head, skinning, and he was like the extremist army guy.
Okay, yeah.
And he hated, the other races and everything. So I just kind of put two and two together. But that was my thought, was maybe that was a whole thing about just racism.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping to get something more out of it. Because it wasn't a war. It was a lot of sneaking.
There was a lot of
It was like 5 people against 10 people.
It was like 5 minutes of war.
It was not a war. It was skirmish for the Planet of the Apes. I think that's what they needed to rename it. Spoiler for a movie that's been out for 4 months. Yeah, it was a...
We hadn't seen it till last night.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Spoiler for anybody who's waiting for it at the discount theater.
All
It's
right.
at the discount theater.
There we go.
Yeah, skirmish is a much better phrase. So anyway, thank you, Sandy, for getting me off on that tangent. And then also, James F. says, "Hey, brother, I love listening to your podcast. You and your wife brighten my week up. Anyway, I live down in Houston and was wondering if you could give me a shout-out, since I'm pretty down, basically losing most of my house and belongings, and yes, about 8 boxes of comic books."
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's gotta hurt. I mean, the house you can
Cuts
get...
deep.
Listen, you can get a new house, but there are some issues of comics you're not getting. You're not
true.
replacing.
That's true.
And some of the comics, like, I remember some of my comics, like, I remember where I bought them. Like, there was a Batman issue that I remember. We were going camping and we stopped at this grocery store and it had it. And I remember
Miller's
the grocery
One
store.
Stop.
Yeah, and I remember getting it, and just for some reason, like there's a comic that has, it's kind of a farce. It's Shazam, where you can see it's a Guy Gardner who's a Green Lantern, and he's already tough, but he's got Shazam and Martian Manhunter holding him back like he's gonna fight, which is kind of like, it's not really gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember buying that issue at Merlin's in the flour mill, and it was one of the first comics I'd bought in a long time. Somebody said, "Hey, you should try this comic," and I remember, and I still have it. So there's like certain comics that it's not just a collectible thing; it's a memory thing.
Memories, yeah.
So yeah,
Sentimental,
that's gotta hurt. So I'm gonna dedicate this podcast to James, dedicating it to you, James, James F, and everybody in Houston. And before you start asking, I understand there are floods right now, and I wrote them down because that's the kind of guy I am. Sometimes I study. In India and Nepal, not very often, so consider this like, woo, this is huge for you.
Very huge.
India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, more than 5.7 million people are being affected by flooding right now.
Ooh.
5.7 million.
Wow.
So I'm not forgetting those people, I'm not forgetting those countries, but James is the one that emailed me. So I'm going to go with James. I'm going to dedicate this to India and Nepal and Bangladesh too. Whatever other countries got problems, except North Korea, because you brought that on yourself.
But James is on top of the list.
But James has got to be
Go
on
James.
top, because James took the time. James found a laptop or a phone when he lost everything. So this is going out for James. All right.
Moment of silence for Soggy Comics.
That's right. But this is going to be one, I'm going to try and make this one of the most positive podcasts I can make.
Oh, I don't get a rant then. Okay.
You can rant.
Nah, it's all right.
No, because it feels positive when you're all done. But I wanted to just, I know it's the correct word I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say the B word.
Complain.
A lot.
Whine.
Sure.
Rant.
Let's put complain and whine together.
Compline?
I cline again. I cline a lot. So this is going to be positive. So I've taken the time to look at positive stories that have come out of Houston.
Nice. Okay.
So here we go. These are positive stories that have come out of Houston. Some of them we heard already, but a group of bakers from the popular El Bolillo. I'm going to just screw that up every time.
Yes.
Bolilo. Bolilo.
Bolio.
Bolio
or Bolio?
Bonobos. Was stuck at their wayside location for 2 days during Hurricane Harvey, and they spent their time baking loaves of bread to be delivered to first responders and those in need. El Bolillo owner, Kirk, doggone it, people, Michaelis?
I don't have my glasses on, I can't even help you.
Great, Grandma. Has started a GoFundMe to help those employees and others impacted by the storm.
Nice.
So he's like, we're stuck in here. Screw it. Let's just work. That's the one time you'd be okay with work. Well, I'm not going home.
Might as well make some bread. Give it to people who are hungry.
Now, don't make fun of me if I choke up a couple times. All right, just.
Can I make fun of you later?
Sure.
Okay.
A masked Good Samaritan brought some much-needed fun to the George R. Brown Convention Center. See, I can read that in Houston Wednesday when he paid a visit to children Displaced by the flooding, a mysterious man dressed as Spider-Man came from nowhere and entertained kids for a while and then disappeared without a trace.
That's cool. That is very cool.
Instagram star King Keraun, Keraun. You know, much hipper people will know. DJ Mr. Rogers and a group of their friends saw the devastating impact of Hurricane Harvey. They knew they could not just stand idle, so they gathered supplies and headed out to deliver food and water to those stranded. The group went door to door around the Houston suburb of Pearland, handing out bags of food and bottled water.
How cool is that?
I also heard, you know what? No one really knows this, but every time there's like a giant problem, Sandra Bullock gives $1 million. Like,
Really?
instantly. Like, she gave $1 million to, like, Katrina. She gave $1 million to, there was, like, the
Louisiana
earthquake.
flooding last year.
Yeah, there was, like, an earthquake. I mean, like, other countries, too. But she doesn't go, hey, everybody, I'm giving $1 million.
Yeah.
She just does
First
it,
I've heard of it.
zing, and then it's done, yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
This dude, this is like Happy House, I guess. A Houston doctor braved the Hurricane Harvey floodwaters in a canoe to make his way to the hospital so he could perform surgery on a teen suffering from a painful and potentially permanent condition. Dr. Stephen Kimmel's own home in Dickinson was beginning to flood on Saturday when he received word that a 16-year-old boy needed immediate surgery at Clear Lake Regional Medical Center. Kimmel hopped in his car and began making his way to the hospital, but was stopped by rising waters. 2 volunteer firefighters with a canoe came to his aid, and the 3 paddled towards the hospital in the dark against heavy currents. Kimmel walked the last leg of the journey, almost a mile through waist-deep water, and we saw gators.
Oh, yeah.
That's not cool. You can flood up here. There's no gators up here.
And thanks to Photoshop, a shark.
Sure, yes. Sometimes you have to do whatever it takes, Kimmel said in a press release. This young man's life would have been changed for the worst forever if we hadn't been able to perform the surgery that we needed. In the end, it all turned out very well.
Very cool.
All right. After waking up to discover his beloved truck was underwater, a 17-year-old Texas boy enlisted his younger brother and 2 other teens to get on a fishing boat and rescue more than 50 people and their pets, bringing them all to safety.
Jeez.
Let's see. A second, I got a page down.
Paging down.
All right. Members of the Cajun Navy, which I just started hearing more about these guys. Apparently it's
It sounds like a really
just some
cool group. Cajun Navy.
Yeah, just some good old boys and some boats.
Love it.
Resuscitated. I don't even know what I wrote myself. Resuscitated an elderly woman found floating face down in the floodwater.
Oh my gosh.
As they were guiding their boat down the waterway that was formerly a road, 3 volunteers realized that what they had initially thought was debris was an elderly woman.
Oh my
They
gosh.
jumped in and began resuscitating her in the water and saved her life. Wow, in the water, that's
wow,
not
there's
easy.
Yeah.
But I heard
Very cool.
I heard other stories about these guys that they just went around rescuing people.
Wow.
Just some good old boys.
Very cool.
When Houston officials ran out of boats, they asked for volunteers with boats to come and help out. Bass Pro answered the call with the use of 80 of their boats
Nice.
and $40,000 in emergency supplies.
Nice.
And then this dude, who people are saying stop giving to that church, that Joe Osteen guy or
Yeah,
whatever, and
Osteen.
giving into this guy, Mattress Mac.
love Mattress Mac.
Welcome displaced residents and their children and their pets into the store to give them a comfortable place to stay. You own a furniture store and like dogs and muddy kids and
Right. And these are not like Mattress Land mattresses. These are like thousands and
he had
thousands of
they
dollars.
showed he had a $9,000 leather couch and this old woman just sitting on it knitting. It's like, oh my gosh.
Love it.
But yeah, then he said he's just gonna sell what's left. So
Yeah, that's
all right,
That's very
here's just a
cool.
couple more here. A reporter and a camera crew in a boat rescued a stranded family, shouting for help. As they went past a home, they heard people calling for help. The family's home was being flooded with waist-high water. Their elderly mother suffered from Alzheimer's. They helped them out in the boat and taken to shelter. And finally, for those good old boys down south, Anheuser-Busch stopped producing beer and started to produce canned water.
Wow.
The Georgia brewery stopped and provided 155,000 cans of safe drinking water for flood victims.
wow.
And I heard
That's cool.
they've done that before. That was not the first time they did that.
Wow. They just took
So-
beer cans, filled them with water.
Just put water in them.
Very cool.
Oh, beer is flat.
This That's the worst beer I've ever had.
This
You
is
see little
really-
2-year-olds running around with a can of beer looking.
You know what? You're going to see that in the South anyway.
Oh!
You're going to see that. Oh, come on, you're going to see it in the
Okay.
North, too. I was one of those dumb kids.
Depends on the neighborhood.
It depends on your parents. So, yes, there was some positive stories. And then, just to keep it, let's see. Let's go to break. And I will come back with, I asked my Facebook people. Oh, you know what? We can't go to break because we're recording still.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to finish this out.
Break for you.
Yeah, because I can't do a break on the video. I gotta do editing, and I'm really lazy.
Just click the one that's not the pause.
No!
'Cause then
He's gonna power through.
I'm gonna power
We're
through
powering
this.
through, Taylor. We're doing it.
You know what? I'm gonna read As My Brain Sees It.
All right.
And then we're gonna go to commercial, and we'll come back, and my Facebook question was, if you had a dream job, what would it be?
I actually
So,
thought of one.
all
I
right.
thought of one, and then
All
I
right.
thought of a better one.
So don't tell me till we get there.
Not telling you, it's a secret.
All right. You know what? I want to do that instead, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to that.
All right.
No one is it. Besides, I'm going to do the As My Brain Sees It kind of as a separate deal, too.
All right.
All right, so the Facebook question was, if you had a dream job, what would it be? So what would yours be?
Mine would be when people win the lottery or come into a lot of money, and they would like to buy some Arabian horses. I would be their shopper.
How soon would you do this job after you left me? like would you cash the check and leave, or would you leave and then cash the check? How does that work?
I don't know. What does it pay? I gotta work some numbers.
You know what it
before I
pays?
figure out.
It pays half of whatever you won. That's what it pays. Whatever you won, half that.
No, I don't win it. They win it, and then they
Yeah.
pay me a massive amount.
Hey, look at I won the lottery. You and the government win money. All right, so that
Personal Arabian horse shopper.
was shopper.
Yeah, I will fill their barn with the best horses with all of their money.
So you're kind of like one of those flip the house people. Like, I'll go shopping and
Yeah,
well, you know,
they shop for stuff to
but
fill
different.
their house. I fill their barn with
fill
really
their
nice
barn.
horses. Yeah,
And then the horse fills
On
the
their
barn
dime.
after you left.
yeah. I don't want to have to clean up after them anymore. I'm done with all of that, but I still would like to go shopping for them.
All right. Colby Park says, I have an unhealthy desire to be a detective, but not a real one.
Oh,
Like
okay.
a hard-boiled private eye from a noir movie or something. You could do that. Just take
He
like
wants the outfit and the hat and everything, doesn't he?
You want like the
Cool.
shades. You want like
Oh,
a
yeah.
light outside so the shades can give that
Oh, yeah.
stripy look inside. But you'd only take like the really easy cases.
He only wants to look like a detective
like-
and be cool like one.
I lost my keys. I'm on it. That'd be like the toughest case you'd have.
And it takes him like a week to find
Yeah.
him. There's all this research.
Because
and-
you got to get like a heavy drinking problem. You have to get beat up by the bad guy at least
Oh
once.
yeah, staking out houses.
Erica says, I'd want to be the next Banksy. Guerrilla street art, not to be confused with graffiti, and pop-up galleries. Because I need spray paint money.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
that sounds like
it's
fun.
an artsy thing. It's just
Okay.
kind of... There's a guy named Banksy, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but they don't know who he is.
Oh.
But he mysteriously paints art. It's like over in Europe, he like pops up and...
The other guy could figure out who he is because he's going to be a
Dun dun
detective.
dun! Does he want to go that far? I don't have to go to...
I don't know, that would get him a lot of notoriety
Maybe the-
and some really cool hats after that.
Oh, yeah.
Even
He'd
better
get one of
hats.
those Sherlock hats.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony Schultz says, can I just put in for Indiana Jones? Sure. You'd be the guy walking around Spokane as Indiana Jones.
As Indiana Jones.
But then you'd hire a guy to like roll a boulder after you, just everywhere you went.
Just a big spongy boulder.
Yeah.
Well, there's Spokane Batman. He would just be Spokane
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. So, yeah.
Some guy behind you
possible.
throwing tarantulas at you.
No snakes, though.
Terrence says permanent Jedi, and I've seen Terrence. Terrence is
Permanent Jedi.
he looks like Qui-Gon Jinn. He's got the long hair and everything. Permanent Jedi in the new Star Wars in the new Star Wars world in Disneyland.
Oh, nice.
I love my real job, but I think about that gig every day.
that would be cool.
That would be good.
That would be really cool.
You would be a Jedi. I mean, kids would every
Yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah.
You come out and it's like new kids, so they believe it. You know?
yeah.
So yeah, you would just live that life.
Nice.
Matt Clark says filmmaker, songwriter / composer, storyteller, comedian, actor. I said one, Matt.
Wow, Matt's
Jeez,
very
man.
right-brained.
Just
very right-brained.
Greedy. Someone that surprises people by having them say, "What, you made that? That's awesome." Alright.
He just goes around craft fairs.
I'm gonna
Talks
help you
to
out,
everyone
Matt.
there.
You want to be an entertainer. That's what you want to be. Kendall says professional cat because naps and food.
Cat. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I thought maybe she wanted to be in musicals.
All right, I'm going to say this one, and I'm not sure you're going to get it. And I'm not going to explain it, but those people old enough will get it.
It's an old one, or it's a heavily nerd-laden?
No, it's not nerd-laden.
It's not nerd-laden.
All right.
Probably not that.
Tao says Phil Spector.
I'm happy to say I'm too young to know
All
what
right.
that is.
You young people, Wikipedia that one. Sarah Jane
2
says...
years difference between us.
Yeah, but I paid attention.
Okay.
Helping children and families in need. And I believe that's what Sarah does now.
Very
Except
nice.
then you wouldn't have to worry about a paycheck. Nicole says, I just want to be successful with my phone apps and games.
That's awesome.
And, you know,
You have one Candy Crush. You reached the end.
you know, I just asked what you wanted to be, and you left your web address. But I'm going to give you a shout out.
Oh.
You're welcome. My developer name is The 80s Life. That's all spelled out. The EIGHTIESLIFE. On Google Play, search that name in the Play Store, and you'll find my stuff. Jackson,
You know, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So good for him for throwing his
her
solicitation out there.
You know, yeah. What is it? You don't hit any home runs if you never swing the bat, or
Something like that.
something like that.
Something like that.
You don't make a good analogy if you don't pay attention to what the guy said.
That, yes.
Jack Lewis
100%.
says financially independent gentleman farmer.
Oh, the gentleman farm. Is he raising gentlemen out in his fields?
Jack's
Or
been,
does he
Jack's
go
been
out-
watching The Office with Dwight. I think that's it.
He goes out in his suit and with his hoe in his hand.
The gentleman beet farmer. Then he goes in and watches Battlestar Galactica. Rachel Lane says professional philanthropist, helping people with medical and financial concerns, helping people realize their dreams, making the world a less stressful and much happier place.
Nice.
Jamie says, you know what, I'm going to end on Jamie's. Mary says home birth midwife,
Ah,
which I think she already does.
Oh.
But again, people have found a
Found a
job that they like and they don't want to have to worry about a paycheck.
that's awesome.
And Jamie says, I'd administer STDs to cheaters. So,
Jamie, have fun doing that.
you know what, I'm going to give Jamie a plug. Catch Jamie every now and then at the Spokane Comedy Club.
And catch you will.
And catch you will. And if you're a cheater, look for Jamie wherever you're trying to pick up chicks.
Okay, that's funny.
All right. I think that's where we're going to end this podcast on the video portion. We're going to go to break. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. I'm doing the video. I'm doing the video because another internet person came out with a video this week and got 5 million views.
Good heavens!
They put bad things on the internet. So I'm trying to even that out by putting something good on the internet. Because I'm part of one of those 5 million people. I lasted 45 seconds.
You contributed to the
I did.
to the lack of.
They shouldn't count it as if you click it. They shouldn't count that you watch it. They should count like it's got to be at least past a minute before it counts. Because I only made it 45 seconds because that auto-tune is up to 12.
Oh, you can't even tell what she's saying or singing.
It's yeah.
We're going to use the term.
It sounds
loosely.
like C-3PO
Singing.
talking backwards.
You can't even tell the words because it is so auto-tuned. It's so bad.
So stop watching that.
Yeah.
Catch me outside.
Go back to lip syncing, please.
If you're one of her supporters, catch me outside.
And did you mean to have Slimer in the background like that?
Really? That would be awful.
I'm looking there going, I don't think he was there before. I'm pretty sure he was
He
on
wasn't.
the book
Nobody can
shelf.
see him up on the bookshelf. So I brought Slimer down.
Yeah, Chris got a new toy.
Chris got an early Christmas toy, a life-size Slimer. Oh my gosh, I high-fived my younger self, which was embarrassingly 17 years old. Like, I'd love to say I high-fived my 9-year-old self. Nope, 17 years old. I was like, man, that'd be cool to have a life-size Slimer.
What I like about it is when you turn it around, it has an actual butt.
It has a butt.
It has a butt.
Put a thong on him in the winter.
Oh, you totally should.
So it doesn't get cold. I'm living the dream.
Living the dream. Putting a thong on your fake Slimer.
I got a 1-to-1 scale proton pack with lights. I've got a life-size Slimer.
You got the jumpsuit.
I got the jumpsuit. I've got Ghostbuster symbols that are car magnets that I can stick to the car and live my dream.
Your dream.
It was either that or a Herbie the Love Bug. I figured that. But nobody knows Herbie anymore. Growing up, I really wanted a Herbie with like the stripe and the big number on the side, and nobody knows who that is anymore.
Yeah, it sucks. Only get thumbs up from gray-haired people.
Like, yeah, just really old dudes who just, Herbie, good job, Herbie. Well, that ended on a poor note. Because I'm old. Alright. I will be back with As My Brain Seasons some nearly news right after this. Bye, everybody on the video.
This podcast is a Pants Pending Studios production.
And part of the Pants Pending Studios podcast network.
Find more of our great shows just by searching Pants Pending in your podcatcher.
For more information or to contact us directly, visit us at pantspending.com.
Please subscribe to this show, share it with your friends, like it on Facebook, and rate it on iTunes.
And we thank you for making us a part of your listening day.
Pants Pending.
Pants Pending.
Pants Pending.
Pants Pending.
Pants Pending.
Pants Pending. Studios!